All right, hopefully that lets you guys see everything and keeps the chat at a view of what I'm trying to do here. Give it just a few minutes for everybody to show up. YouTube was screwing with me. It wanted me to rotate it sideways, but somehow, I don't know. I just kept hitting back and go live again, and eventually it worked. So we are going to be making smash burgers. We're using our Walton's 11-pound manual stuffer that is on the suction cup feet. We're using the Walton's quick patty maker, and I've got some ground beef. I've got some bacon I made here that I chopped up. I have seasoning for bacon flavored patties. I have a ridiculously oversized spatula that I'm going to try and use to smash it. But the quick patty maker makes 3rd-pound patties, which is huge for any type of smash patty. So I'm going to try a few where I underfill the cavity. Show you real quick. For any of you who don't know, quick patty maker works by pushing meat from the canister up through that little hole into this cavity. I then rotate this side to side. Meat falls out of what we just filled, but that is already about the size we want for a smashed patty. So I'm going to try underfilling them, and we'll see what happens. They're not going to be perfectly formed, but when we get them onto the grill, and I take this obscenely sized and heavy spatula, we should be able to mash them down pretty good. And then we'll try a few that are full size as well, just to see what happens. As always, we've got some Miller Lite here, and we've got Haley J. I can say happy birthday to Rena. Absolutely happy birthday, Rena. I hope you're having a wonderful birthday. I don't know how old you are, but if you're old enough, I hope you're having a beer and having a good night. If you're not, then I hope you're having some apple juice or something like that. So I've got 6 pounds of ground beef here, which is perfect because that's going to be exactly what this quick patty maker, this patty seasoning works with. I've got a 1/4 cup of water, but it's really beer. And then, like I said, this is some bacon we made out of rib roll. So it's bacon. We used bacon seasoning. We took a whole rib roll, injected it, smoked it just like we would bacon, so it's cured. Absolutely delicious. But I figured I would make it on that. Outside, I've got my griddle already going, already hot, so we should be able to do these fairly quickly. Sounds like, yep, so for Julius, says we need an insert for smash patties. That is absolutely true. We have an insert for breakfast sausage, and if I was a smarter man, I probably would have brought that instead, because that is, I think, 2.5 inches, and as you can see, these are fairly big holes. The breakfast insert might actually work perfectly, but I never really thought of that. So, easy to look back and realize I was wrong, but what are you going to do? All right, so first thing I'm going to do is take our seasoning, mix it in with our meat. This bowl probably is not big enough for what I'm about to do, but we will make it work. I'm going to add our water slash beer. We're going to take our bacon. And for any of you who've been on this before, the enormous dog is around here somewhere. I'm sure he will make an appearance. In fact, I think he's coming right now. So yep, I already said happy birthday, so I hope you're having a good one. And we're just gonna start mixing this in. All I'm trying to do is get the seasoning mixed in throughout all of the meat. I don't want to achieve any type of protein extraction, and especially since I'm going to be using or trying to make some sort of smash burger, I don't want this stuff mixed up too much. When we start mixing meat, we start achieving something called protein extraction. I'm sure anyone who's watched a bunch of our videos is sick of hearing me saying it, but protein extraction is when the proteins in the meat start extruding and binding to each other. You can actually think of it almost like a Velcro thing. It will make the meat sticky, and it's one of its main purposes is when we're smoking something like a summer sausage or a snack stick, it's going to prevent any of the fat from rendering out. Your fat is always going to cook before, or your fat is always going to melt before your proteins are done cooking. But if you have good protein extraction, it will prevent any of that fat from melting out, because it can melt, but it doesn't have any way to escape. So it's just going to sit there and then it will reform. It's also why you have a much different consistency between something like a bratwurst and something like a snack steak, right? Bratwurst, we do not get any protein extraction, and we do with something like a snack stick or a summer sausage. So we're just getting this all mixed up. And this shouldn't take terribly long. I think we should be done with this one fairly quickly. And obviously I've got cheese. I've got some onions we're going to throw on the griddle and caramelize. And then I'm actually going to use, or try to use, this metal bowl as a basting bowl. So I'm going to put this over the smash burgers at the very end. All right. Move my beer. Take a small sip. And we're going to start loading this up. I'm actually going to come around to the other side. All right. Tilt this back. We can get all this right down in there. Now, one of the things that's different when you buy ground beef from the store, like I did with this, as opposed to when you grind it yourself, is they use a process called hot boning often, which tends to start the protein extraction process before you even get to it. So you have to be a little bit more careful with anything that's store-bought versus what you purchase or what you ground yourself. And they're doing that mostly for speed. You know, you think of a beef processing plant, they've got thousands of pounds that they need to get through either a day or in some plants even an hour. So they're just trying to get that meat off that bone and as much of the meat off the bone as possible. So they use different processes, and it doesn't always make the best ground beef. It's perfectly good for most uses, but specifically for hamburgers or if you're trying to make a hot dog, anything like that, it can absolutely cause problems. So like I said, this is our 11-pound stuffer. I've already got our piston and our piston gasket attached. Piston and piston gasket attached. We're just going to make sure that our piston fits down perfectly. It does. I'm going to grab my other cutting board here in just a second. We're going to start stacking burgers. So the first few I'm going to do, let's see if we can get a higher up, better view. The first few we're going to try are going to be pretty underfilled. I don't want that cavity filling up more than about, I would say, half. So when we pull it, it's going to compress all that meat and pull it out. So they're going to look very, very weird. This is not what a full burger should look like with this. I'm gonna stop it right there. I'm gonna pull it down. So we've got a pretty thick, but obviously oddly shaped burger. So when we're done with this and flatten it out, we're hoping for something in the round shape. It's not gonna be perfect. So we're gonna do about 6 of those. Then we'll do some full ones and see what a smash burger with a full Walton's Quick Patty Maker burger looks like, because I have a feeling they're not going to work really well. You could try adding some more water to your meat if you wanted it to smash better, or if you were grinding something yourself, you could try adding more fat. That might help a little bit. It probably also helps if you pay better attention to what you're doing and not damage your nice countertops. But here we go, we're gonna do some full ones. So that is what it should look like when it's full. Now we're gonna pull that aside, it drops out, and we have a nice, perfectly round, thick 3rd pound patty. But I have a feeling when I go to push that down with this, I don't think it's gonna do a whole heck of a lot. So, keep going. And Brutus is right around my back if you can't see him there. He smells all this meat and he's very interested. I'm sure he'll want to come outside as well as we go to put these on the griddle. We have something we call the stuffer flusher eggs. They're little rubber eggs that you can put down at the very end that do a nice job of making sure you get all of the meat out of this patty, or this stuffer here. I'll show you where the majority of the meat gets caught when we're done. All right. So out of 6 pounds, we ended up with 2, 4, 6, 8, 8 small and 2, 4, 6, 8 large ones. So we're gonna see how that goes. Like I said, I don't have very high hopes for the full size ones. I just don't think they're gonna smash down well at all, but we're gonna find out. I'm gonna bring the camera out here first. And I've got this Pit Boss. It is, ooh, that sun is bright. It is a ceramic griddle that I'm learning to cook with. And I've had it on for about 10 minutes now, probably. It's very, very hot. Keep him out of there. So we're gonna throw on our onions onto the cooler side of the grill. But as you can probably hear, even that cool side of the grill is pretty hot. And then we're gonna take our patties, toss them on. And these are the smaller, sort of fake patties. Probably not giving them enough room. And the nice thing about smash burgers is they cook extremely fast. Just a couple of minutes aside. It fell off on its own. All right, so that one didn't make a really nice round burger. So let's see if we can move some stuff out of the way and do a better job on this one. That's better. A little bit better. Okay. So it's hard to see. They're not exactly perfect patty shapes, but we're going to stack them up. Quite a few on each, so it shouldn't matter a ton. I might have also sprayed this with something first. But especially on a hot grill like this, these cook incredibly quick. Bigger is not always better. This spatula is good for some things, but I wouldn't say it's great for little detail work. All right, so now we're gonna throw some cheese and start stacking them. And at some point, they need to invent something that can convey smell to you guys, because these smell absolutely amazing. All right, stacking cheese on cheese. We got one triple. We're gonna make one double. A double with no cheese. Put them together, put them close to each other at least. And then here's where the risk of injury comes in. We're gonna sit those under a basting bowl for just a couple of minutes and watch that. I'll be right back. I'm gonna get the buns ready. Stay away from there. I see you. Almost done. That is almost perfect for what we want. A simple metal bowl without a handle on it works almost as well as those basting bowls or whatever they are called. Question is, I don't know exactly what I'm going to do with it once I get it onto this spatula. Probably going to have to walk it inside and put it on, or put it in the sink. Yeah, that's not going to work. How about this? That'll do it. I will be right back. Get it out of the way, buddy. Move. 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 No, those are onions. You can't eat onions. They're bad for you. Now. Okay, so we've got a couple burgers we're going to put on here. That is the triple with cheese. That's the double with cheese. There's nothing to bind these ones together, so they don't want to stick. and then the little baby single that is just kind of falling apart and sad. So that makes me happy. That makes me happy. That I don't care about. And this tiny little one here, I don't like at all. It makes me very sad. We're gonna throw on some onions to each of these. Then I'm gonna put on some of those full Walton's quick patty maker ones, and we'll see what those do for a smash. Boom. All right. We'll see how these go. And again, this is the bacon flavored patty seasoning. And we're gonna let those cook for just a minute or so before we press them down and try and get smash burgers out of that. I think the size is gonna be ridiculous. While I'm not doing that, are there any questions about either the patty mix, the patty maker, anything? We'll try and move these a little bit away, because they're going to expand, hopefully. All right. Oh, that's not bad at all. Huh. Well, goes to show you how often I'm wrong. While those are a little bit big, the uniformity of them is so much better than the other ones that I actually think it's worth dealing with them being a little bit larger. Yeah. So, 100% I was wrong. Do the full size, and then just deal with it being a little bit bigger than the bun, because these are much, much better looking than the first batch I made. And we'll let those cook for just a minute. Throw some cheese on them and start stacking them. And we're going to be much happier with this than we were with the other ones. Those ones were fairly ugly. I bet you they taste delicious, but fairly ugly. It's a very satisfying sound also. I'm finding that I very much enjoy having a griddle in my backyard. This makes doing things like this so much easier. Don't have to mess up your kitchen. Yeah, cleaning the griddle's a bit of a pain in the butt, but very little of that splatter is going, well, some of it's definitely going on my deck, but that's not the end of the world. I'm gonna go grab a couple more pieces of cheese. We'll throw some cheese on there and start stacking them. Now these are 3rd pounders, so I'm not going to go any higher than 2 on them. And there will be no Can John eat all of these challenge tonight because I can't. 6 pounds of meat is too much even for me. The Quick Patty Maker is back in stock finally at Waltons. Go to waltons.com just go to waltons.com and search Patty Maker. It'll come right up. It hooks up to everything from a sausage stuffer with a 2/8 inch outflow like ours to a number 5, number 8, number 22, or number 32 grinder. The advantages doing with the grinder is it obviously moves the meat down there for you. Disadvantages are it works the meat a little bit too much in my opinion, but it does definitely work. One of them just got half cheese. We're just going to close that. And I'm going to go grab one of those other ones that I made earlier. So here is a triple with some onions on it. No ketchup, no mustard, no nothing like that. And these were the ones that were about half, I would say, full of 3rd pounds. So, let's see how it is. Oh my God. Oh, that is so good. Oh, the bacon that we added, the rib roll bacon, mixed with oh God, that is exactly what I wanted tonight. Oh, I'm somebody. Well, I love, a gourmet burger. I love something nice like that. Every once in a while, you just want a greasy amalgamation of meat. And that is perfect. You can't beat that by much. I'm going to find a place to put those. I'll be right back. And the one that got the least amount of cheese is going to get the best onions. even that out. Oh. No. All right, come outside. Like the pop grill. My dog is currently licking any grease that landed on the ground here. So now that everything's done, all that's left to do is to eat and then clean. Cleaning's not my favorite part, but it's worth it for this. So this was Excalibur's bacon flavored patty mix. Ground beef I bought at the store. Some bacon, though you don't have to add it. A nice smoking hot griddle. And that's it. It was that simple. Hopefully you guys have a way of doing this. If you don't necessarily need the Walton's Quick Patty Maker, though it does make it a lot easier. You can make them with hands. Just make them smaller if you're going to, because when you smash them down, they do flatten out, open up pretty well. Add the cheese, stack them for a while, let that cheese all melt, and it's absolutely delicious. We will see you guys next time.